Welcome back, everyone, to our weekly deep dive. This is week 34 of our 2025 series, and as always, we're proudly presented by Bluewater Auto Restoration. We drop new deep dives every Saturday morning. Today, we're plunging into, well, a really exciting topic: women reshaping the automotive world. Our mission today: to pull out the most important bits of knowledge, the key insights from all the material we've gathered, basically giving you a shortcut to being really well-informed on this pretty amazing shift.
And it is an amazing shift. It matters a great deal, not just for the women involved, but honestly for the whole automotive world. For, decades, right? The classic car scene, and yeah, the wider industry too, it's often been seen as, well, mostly male. But what we're seeing right now is this really significant, really dynamic transformation. We're going to look at who these trailblazing women are, what they're actually achieving, and it's incredible stuff, and how they're fundamentally, redefining car culture, bringing in new energy, new viewpoints, and a whole lot of innovation.
Okay, let's unpack this a bit then. That historical perception, the male-dominated thing, it's definitely been strong for a long time. But were there any early trailblazers? Women who maybe challenged those norms way back, even if they weren't always recognized at the time?
That's a really good question because, yeah, the history isn't quite so simple. While, mainstream hands-on involvement was limited, there were definitely strong pioneering women right from the start. Think about Bertha Benz. Back in 1888, she took the first ever long-distance car trip. And this wasn't just like a Sunday drive. It was a really bold move to show the world this new invention was actually practical, reliable. Imagine 66 miles, stopping at pharmacies for fuel, Ligroin it was called. Her trip probably sped up the car's adoption quite a bit.
Wow, 1888, that's incredible context.
Right. And then jump forward to the 1930s. You had figures like Helle Nice, a French racing driver. Seriously formidable, competing against men at the highest levels in an era when racing was unbelievably dangerous and definitely not seen as a place for women. But despite these amazing early figures, you're right, involvement in things like restoration, design, even serious collecting, it often got overlooked or just wasn't recorded much in the mid-20th century. Societal norms were just different then.
So the groundwork was there, just maybe hidden.
Exactly. But fast forward to today, it's a completely different story. We're seeing this huge surge in women participating. And honestly, social media and car clubs specifically for women have played this massive, you could even say revolutionary role in encouraging it. Platforms like Instagram, YouTube, they let women connect directly, share their projects, learn from each other. They kind of bypass the old gatekeepers.
I can see that visual proof right there.
Totally. And it builds communities. You see groups like Ladies of Classic Cars just thriving online, sharing builds, organizing meetups. It's offline too. Big industry events like SEMA. They now have things like Women in Motorsports panels, SEMA Girl Gang meetups. It's visible. It's growing. This whole network effect, it's powerful. It just didn't exist before in the same way.
That is fascinating, how technology can just open doors to these historically kind of closed-off communities. And here's where it gets, I think, really interesting. It's not just one niche area. Women are making an impact, like, across the board. It's really gone way beyond just getting behind the wheel, hasn't it?
Precisely. The involvement is incredibly diverse now. It reaches into, well, pretty much every corner of the auto world. And they're bringing fresh perspectives, different skills. We've kind of identified 5 key areas where women are making these really significant, you might say, transformative contributions.
Okay, let's hear them.
First up, restoration and mechanic work. This is maybe one of the most visible changes. You see more and more women really getting into building, restoring cars, sometimes as hobbyists in the home garage, sometimes as, highly skilled pros. They're mastering complex stuff, welding, precision paint jobs, intricate rewiring on classics, modern cars too. It directly challenges that old stereotype. The garage is just a man's space. They bring different approaches, often a really meticulous eye.
Right, showing that skill has no gender.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Second area, automotive design and engineering. This is where a lot of innovation happens. Women are contributing creatively, technically. Fields that really need forward thinking. It could be designing interiors, making them more ergonomic, beautiful, focused on the user experience. Or it could be engineering cutting-edge electric drivetrains. The future, really. So not just making cars look good, but making them smarter, safer, more sustainable. Vital input.
Okay, so design and engineering, crucial. What's third?
Third, and this is a huge driver of the cultural shift we mentioned, content creation. Female-led YouTube channels, Instagram pages. They are absolutely reshaping the narratives around car culture. They show the whole process, teardowns, rebuilds, the final reveal. They share knowledge, make complex repairs seem less scary, and they inspire tons of others, especially women and girls, to maybe pick up a wrench, start a project, or just learn about their own car. Their authentic voices are building huge, engaged communities.
Accessibility piece feels really key there.
It really is. Fourth area, business and leadership. We're seeing huge growth here. Women aren't just like participating anymore, they're owning and running the businesses. Custom shops, high-end detailing studios, parts resellers, even multi-million-dollar restoration firms. They're showing serious entrepreneurial spirit, managing complex stuff like supply chains, building successful companies in a really competitive field, proving their strategic skills.
So running the show, not just working in it.
Absolutely. And finally, number 5.
Yeah.
Collecting and cruising. This is where the passion really hits the road, right? And it's not just an old boys club anymore. You see women actively buying, restoring, and proudly showing off their dream cars. It could be classic Mustangs, custom vintage pickups, anything. They're building significant collections, preserving history, and just being active enthusiasts at meets, rallies, big shows.
Yeah.
The love for classic metal, for performance cars, it's universal.
It's truly remarkable. So you're right, it's way beyond just turning a wrench. It's vision, it's business savvy, engineering skill, and it's telling new stories. That breadth is just it's genuinely inspiring. Among those 5, is there one area where you've seen like the most surprising or maybe dramatic growth?
That's a good question. I mean, all areas are definitely expanding, but maybe the content creation space, that's probably seen the fastest, most visible acceleration. Just because, the barrier to entry online is relatively low.
Yeah.
It let women quickly establish themselves as experts, educators, influencers, sort of bypassing traditional media routes. And that, in turn, has probably helped fuel growth in the other areas. It shows what's possible, inspires others. But, to really get this revolution, let's talk about some specific women, people who are really leading the charge. These aren't just names. Their stories really bring these trends to life.
Okay, let's do it. Put some faces to these shifts.
Let's start with Jessie Combs. Tragically, she passed away in 2019, but her impact, it's huge. Jessie was a true pioneer. Automotive, motorsports. She famously earned the title Fastest Woman on 4 Wheels. In 2013, she set a land speed record, nearly 400-mile-per-hour in a jet-powered car. And then, posthumously, in 2019, she broke the all-time women's land speed record, over 522 miles per hour.
Wow. The speeds are hard to even comprehend.
Right, the courage, the engineering precision, incredible. But Jessie was way more than just a racer. She was a master metal fabricator, welding, machining, vehicle design. She graduated from Wyotech, a top automotive trade school. She really came up through the ranks with serious hands-on skill. And many people will know her from TV shows, right?
Yeah.
Extreme 4x4, Overhauling, Mythbusters, All Girls Garage. She always showed her technical skills, her great personality. Her legacy is really strong through the Jessie Combs Foundation.
Yeah.
It gives scholarships, mentorship for women going into skilled trades. So her work continues, inspiring people. She didn't just break stereotypes. She proved women could excel at the absolute highest levels.
An incredible legacy for sure. Who's next?
Next, let's talk about Boogie Latiner. She's a real visionary, I think. Master mechanic, entrepreneur, and she founded Girl Gang Garage. It's this amazing space focused on empowering women in auto trades, education, collaborative builds. She actually opened her own shop when she was just 23. Shows her business sense early on. And she was also a co-host on Motor Trend's All Girls Garage. But Boogie's maybe best known for organizing these huge, all-female restoration projects, like the Chevy Montagne.
Oh, yeah, I think I've heard of that one, the 57 Chevy pickup.
That's the one. Meticulously rebuilt by over 90 women from all over North America. And for many of them, it was their first time really, welding, wiring, wrenching. These projects, they're not just cool builds. They're like immersive learning experiences, giving women hands-on skills, confidence, things that maybe weren't accessible before. So her work really bridges that gap between wanting the skills and getting the opportunity, making the industry more inclusive through workshops, mentoring, and these really high-profile builds.
That Chevy Montage project, yeah, that sounds like an amazing example of community and education right there. And then you mentioned content creation. Rachel DeBarros fits that mold, right? She seems to really excel at communicating complex stuff.
Absolutely. Rachel is fantastic at that. She blended her deep technical know-how with really smart marketing to create her brand, Gearhead Diva. Her main goal, always been to make car repair, restoration, just feel more approachable, especially for beginners who might feel, intimidated. She was also a co-host on All Girls Garage, tackling everything from engine teardowns to tricky electrical problems, always explaining things clearly. Online, she built this strong following with great DIY tutorials, these fun science meets wrenches experiments. She even uses pop culture sometimes to make learning about cars just fun. What really makes her stand out is that ability to explain tough concepts simply. It builds confidence, makes the garage feel welcoming, not scary. She demystifies things.
Making it less intimidating, that's huge. Okay, and you mentioned a new wave of performance builders.
Yeah, for that, let's look at Amelia Hartford. She really represents this dynamic shift, how performance builds are done and shared now, often starting from home garages, using digital platforms to build an empire, break records. Her YouTube channel, it's one of the biggest in the auto space. She shows high-performance engine builds, the real day-to-day of shop life, racing, and she's really honest about the process, the successes and the struggles. She's probably best known for her incredible work with the C8 Corvette platform, the latest mid-engine one. She's built some of the fastest versions out there.
Right, the C8. So what kind of work does that involve?
Oh, highly technical stuff. We're talking LS swaps. That's putting those powerful Chevy V8s into other cars or modifying them heavily, bolting on massive turbochargers for huge power gains, and then doing really advanced tuning using software to precisely control everything the engine does for maximum performance. She was also on Netflix's Fastest Car, which definitely boosted her profile as a serious competitor. Amelia's transparency, her perseverance, and just her raw talent. It makes her a really compelling role model, especially for women in those high horsepower circles. Redefining what's possible.
Incredible stories, each one bringing something different to the table.
Exactly. So if you sort of connect all these dots, look at the bigger picture. It's clear women are bringing this fundamentally new, vital perspective to the classic car world and, yeah, the whole auto industry. It's a perspective that values collaboration, creativity, community, just as much as horsepower, maybe even more sometimes. They're reshaping the culture itself, making it more welcoming, more dynamic.
That's such a crucial point. It's not just about numbers, like you said, it's a cultural enrichment. So what does this all really mean for the industry going forward, it sounds like?
Well, with this focus on accessibility, education, empowerment, the whole automotive world gets stronger.